Hey guys, I have a quick question. A little bit of a hot take here, but I'm not here to tussle. This is literally for educational purposes, right? So, by American standards, people of color are typically considered people who are not white for the most part, right? So, for example purposes, using celebrities, it might be people like Sofia Vergara, Mindy Kaling, Priyanka Chopra, DJ Khaled, Jackie Chan, J-Lo, right? Either all consider themselves people of color or are considered people of color by American standards. That said, my question is, are the Kardashians, who are Armenian, considered people of color? I'm not here to tussle, argue with your keyboard. I really would just like to know. Like, I'm so curious about this. Like, what box do they check? I'm pretty sure Courtney probably checks white, but like maybe Kim or Chloe, like what did they check? Because I have a friend who's Armenian and they identify as white. They're like, I'm white. I also have another friend who's Armenian. They feel very offended when they're referred to as white. They say I'm Middle Eastern. I tried to Google this before I brought it to the internet because I'm very curious, but Google had different things. On one side, it's like they're more European because they're like Russian aspect, and the other side is like very much European, but it's very confusing because a lot of people from Asia, the continent of Asia, that could be Chinese people, Indian people, Filipino people, the list goes on, could be considered people of color in America. So Armenia, being a country in the Asian continent, would they be considered people of color? Would they be considered Middle Eastern? Are Middle Eastern people considered people of color by American standards? And the reason I'm stressing by American standards is because when you look at Tyla or Trevor Noah, where we're from, they are not considered black. But in America, by American standards, they are considered black people, right? So by American standards, are the Kardashians people of color? And I'm not talking about Kylie, Kendall, Kristen, or Caitlyn. Those are all white women, right? We can agree they're all white women, but they are half Armenian. So the half aspect, does that consider them people of color? Because if you look at Adonis, Drake's son, who biologically is more white than the Kardashians, he would be considered a person of color as a black man. So these half white people who are of Middle Eastern descent from the Asian continent, are they considered people of color? I don't know. Let me know. I would just like to know. I'm very intrigued by this. Like I said, I'm not here to tussle, argue with your keyboard, because I'm just so curious. Are the Kardashians considered women of color? Because if they are, a lot of y'all owe them an apology. Like, I don't think Kimberly would actually refer to herself as a woman of color because you guys would drag her for filth. But she has also never, at least to my recollection, referred to herself as a white woman. She's always referred to herself as an Armenian. Let's talk about it, okay? I am intrigued.